What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Vasily Lomachenko. Lomachenko makes decision on retirement after backing out of the Gervonta Tank Davis negotiations. Lomachenko was a signature away from a super fight. The 36-year-old three-division champion recently picked up the IBF lightweight world title by beating George Kambosos and following Gervonta Tank Davis' successful defense of his WBA against Frank Martin, entered into the initial talks, as we know. Now, in the fallout, Tank's co-trainer Kenny Ellis said that if the Ukrainian wasn't motivated to fight, then he should hang up the gloves. Hall of Fame fighter turned analyst Tim Bradley also claimed fans may never see him fight again, and many on social media believe that if the drive for a fight of such magnitude isn't there, that the star may already have one foot out the door. Lomachenko's via promoter Bob Arum feels otherwise. The 92-year-old Bob Arum said this. He said, "We'll see him again," Lomachenko made clear. And Arum then said the reasons behind his decision to take the rest for 2024 were personal and confidential, but did add that they were legitimate stuff to do with the Ukraine and his family. Lomachenko was one of the many combat athletes to join the armed forces in defending Ukraine. He refused a fight with Kambosos at the time to stay in his country. Okay. Let me counterpunch. First of all, what Kenny Ellis said wasn't he should hang up the gloves. No, he said if he didn't want to fight him now, don't come to us later. That's what he said, to make that clear. Okay, so this had to counterpunch this particular article that I'm reading, right? And second of all, another element that I read into what Bob Arum said about Lomachenko, listen, some things happen in people's lives that you don't want people to know about. You know, they say shit happens. Well, it does. And it happens on every spectrum. So if you have something personal that's going on with your family, you know, it's your right not to tell people your business. So if something was going on with his family that needed him there, by God, stay there with your family. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, the fans will be gone. They will forget your name. Okay? They won't be fans for long. Right? So, you know, as long as you're fighting, they're going to love you. When you retire, you will shortly fade or quickly fade. You know what I mean? Or slowly fade, rather. Right? So if he has something to do with his family, may that be it. So because we don't know what that is, so it's hard to really judge if it was worth him calling out of the Gervonta Tank Davis fight. But according to Bob Arum, he will be back, as we know. But one thing we need to focus on is Lomachenko a duck? Is he ducking? No, he's not ducking. It's just whatever he's going through right now, he's going through right now. You know, and what Kenny Ellis said was not very encouraging for a fight to happen. You know what I mean? Like, if you've waited 6 years to fight a guy, now you're belly aching over when you should fight him 6 years from then? Well, no, we got to fight him now instead of later. Or don't come back. Don't come back to us later if you're not going to fight us now. Well, Lomachenko could have had that same mindset. He could have had that same mindset like, look, yo, you didn't want to fight me in 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. Now in 24, you want to fight me? You know what I mean? And I'm saying, oh, I got some family stuff going on. So let's wait till later in the year. No. You know what I mean? And I think this is actually, because this is already July, so this would probably mean that they'll fight in January. Right? I think that's what it was. He'll be back early January. So if Davis don't want to wait for a super fight, well, okay, whatever. You know what I mean? Let him do what he always been doing, getting smaller guys and beating them up, setting them up, bringing them up to a weight class that you're comfortable with, and knocking them out. And now understand this. At 140, Gervonta Tank Davis did not like the punching at 140, but he won the fight. And that just shows you that he doesn't like true challenges. You know what I mean? Because like guys like Barrios, he's a guy that's now at 147, which I thought he was too tall for 140 anyhow, tall as he is. I mean, he had a decent fight with Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman beat him. I haven't seen Keith Thurman since. However, you know, Gervonta is willing to come up to, not come up to 140 versus staying at 135. Now you got a guy at 135 that's been there. He was at 130, okay? Because you remember the 130 weight class Loma was in, and Loma wanted him at 130. Floyd, Money Mayweather didn't want him at 130, okay? So, you know, it is what it is. But the good news is he's not retiring, according to Bob Arum, and he will be back. I know a lot of people will still look at this as a duck. A lot of people are saying that. I've been reading videos about Loma, you know, saying that he's a duck now, this, that, and the other. I mean, it may be. He may just not want to fight him right now. So that is called a legitimate duck. But again, people, in closing, we don't know what the reasoning behind Lomachenko's confidential postponement. But you guys tell me what you think of this new news concerning Vasily Lomachenko and Gervonta Tank Davis. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace!